The borough of Brooklyn is the location for the Pistons. A threat to take over the game every time he gets on the floor. Cade Cunningham getting ready to go, making his mark as they prepare to do battle inside Barclays Center. Pistons, Nets up next. Welcome to 2K Sports. We have the NBA coming up. Great to have you with us. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. From the sideline, we'll have David Aldridge. We'll be hearing from him in just a moment. And a look at the starters for the Pistons. Sliding in at the wing spot, it's Ivy and Hardaway Jr. Inside for him, it's Harris and Duran. And it's Cunningham in at the point guard. And for the Nets, the guard pair, Schroeder and Thomas. Dorian Finney-Smith is out there with Johnson. And it's Claxton in at the 5. And Greg, when you're facing the front of a back-to-back, how much does that affect you as a player?
Before and after the game, for sure, it's on your mind. But once the whistle blows, you have to live in the moment. You can bet the coaches are very aware of it.
Now, here's Cunningham. And they double up Cunningham. Hardaway with the bounce pass. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Hardaway is screen on Schroeder. And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
Beyond the leaning, you could see his feet weren't set on that screen. Easy call.
Got to hold firm or you're going to get a call.
Pass to Finney-Smith. To the paint. And the basket by Johnson.
Yeah, that's a good way to start the game. Nice inside bucket right there.
Recent times have certainly been tough in Detroit. Right, 14 wins last season, a franchise record low.
And Kevin, if you look, Detroit's last 5 seasons, 23 wins is the most they've had. So their fan base hungry for a winner in the Motor City.
Now, here's Johnson. Picked by Finney-Smith. Johnson, the pass to Claxton.
Making the most of the screen. That's how it's done.
And it's in the perfect spot, Greg. Frees him up to get all the way to the bucket.
Really not enough help there. Lack of communication on the backside.
Here's Cunningham. Knocks down the 10-footer.
And the confidence growing from this young guard. Cunningham dropping in the jumper.
Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Hey, Kevin, had a chance to talk with head coach Jordy Fernandez. We talked about how dialed in he is on Cade Cunningham in this matchup. Coach told me the key is not to let him get into a rhythm early on. That might mean we have to throw different defenders at him. Maybe send them double teams, too. Everything is on the table tonight. We'll see what they come up with for Cade. Guys?
Thanks, David. Now, here's Thomas. Following the missed shot by Tobias Harris. Cam Thomas was the 27th pick in the 2021 NBA Draft GA. I think a lot of teams, wouldn't you agree, are regretting passing on him.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to believe that he fell all the way to the end of the first round. Lots of teams would love to have a scorer like him on their roster.
Free throw good, Thomas. Simmons checked in for Brooklyn. And the Pistons making a change here as well. Holland, he's checked in for Hardaway. That one misses. Here's Claxton. Rebound, Detroit. This game against Brooklyn here, it's their first look at the Nets.
And they won the season series against this club last year, but, you know, then again, so did a lot of other teams.
Now here is Harris. Last time out, he had 13 points. Over Johnson. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good.
Beautiful in the mid-range there. Sometimes it looks automatic for Tobias Harris.
Outside, Simmons. .116 left here in the first quarter. Shot clock at 6. To the inside. And Claxton throws it down.
And not really played as a playmaker. Cam Johnson with the smart play, just giving it up.
Pistons trail by 3. Cunningham passes to Duran. Here's Ivy. There's 48 seconds left in the first quarter. Harris, no good. And here's Simmons. He'll bring it up for Brooklyn. This game coming on the heels of their win against Chicago.
Yeah, and in that one, they were aggressive, but also efficient. The exact balance you're looking to achieve.
Well, easy to be efficient on nights like that when everybody has things going. Let's see if they're still in the rhythm tonight.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Ivy against Schroeder. Now here's Ivy. Tight defense on him. To the middle. Claxton with the steal. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Nets lead by 5. And we'll get the second quarter underway on the other side of this break. And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Nets.
And they've set the tone from the jump. They're looking to pound it inside and score in the paint.
Love the passing that they displayed at the start of the game. Great ball movement that's opening up some chances without really getting deep into the execution.
Here's Milton. 5-point lead, the biggest of the game. Here are the 5 Detroit has to start the second quarter. Holland is out there with Isaiah Stewart. Then there's Tim Hardaway Jr. Then there's Marcus Sasser. And it's Beasley in at the 3.
And this is how Simmons puts up points. He challenges you close at the rim more often than not, having the physical advantage.
Now here's Stewart. Pass to Hardaway. Launches a 3. Bangs home the trifecta. Brent, one thing we've seen these days, 3-point variance. Can you explain it?
Well, Kevin, who's hot and who's not, that's basically what it comes down to. Look, coaches are going to have strategies against teams. A lot of teams are taking a lot more threes, but on a night where they are knocking down shots that you're willing to live with, that's when you just tip the cap, take the loss, and move on.
And here is Williams. After Tim Hardaway made that last 3-pointer. And that one, good.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Here's Sasser, guarded by Simmons. Here's Hardaway, cans it from short range. Hardaway has got 5 now.
He's known for his jump shot, but Hardaway isn't afraid to mix it up inside.
Outside, Simmons. No good with the layup.
Well, the D's so tight on him, and it makes him alter his shot. And an easy chance turns into a tough one because the defense is swarming.
Hardaway for 3. And it's Finney-Smith with the rebound. Nets leading by 4. Outside, Simmons. Pass to Clowney. On the wing, Williams. He's covered by Sasser.
What elevation. He's a smaller but still determined big man, and he likes mixing it up with his impressive vert.
Pistons trail by 6. And J.B. Bickerstaff has called a timeout. He wants a minute here to get things straightened out with his team. And a different look here for the Pistons. Jalen Duren. He's checked in for Holland. Tobias Harris comes in for Malik Beasley. Ivy's checked in for Tim Hardaway Jr. And it's Cunningham in for Marcus Sasser. We've got 1:48 left to play in the first half. Schroeder against Cunningham. Duren with a screen on Schroeder. Here's Cunningham, and the rejection by Claxton. The shot, and he buries that one, drilling the rim on the way down. Thomas got the lead up to 8 now for Brooklyn. And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hey, Kevin, the Brooklyn Nets wasted no time hiring their next coach, Jordi Fernandez, shortly after the conclusion of last season. Despite his youth, Fernandez has been on the rise after stops as an assistant with the Kings, Nuggets, and Cavs, as well as coaching the Canadian national team. Kevin?
You know, DA, we've been talking about Jordi Fernandez for a long time. Now his big break, and I'm very happy. I know we all are for Coach Fernandez. Hey, David, thank you. There's Schroeder following the basket by Cade Cunningham. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Claxton sets the screen for Thomas. It's stolen by Duren. Cunningham against Schroeder, and he drew the blocking foul. He'll go to the line for 2. Brent, we talk about guys on the brink of stardom. Cade Cunningham is right there.
Yeah, the two areas you'd love to see Cade improve on is just taking better shots and making plays for others. He has that instinctually, Kevin, as a point guard at his size. But as his team grows, the appreciation for what Cade Cunningham can do on the floor, that will grow too.
That's good from Cunningham.
And what strikes me about Cade Cunningham is he's still growing. He's still capable of doing more on the floor, and he has the work ethic and attitude to make those improvements and become a real factor on the floor.
Dorian Finney-Smith's checked in for Williams, and the Pistons making a change here as well. Tim Hardaway Jr.'s checked in for Isaiah Stewart, and so Cunningham nails both of them.
At this point, you might as well go ahead and chalk up the points when he's at the free throw line. Pretty much automatic.
Outside Thomas, back to Schroeder. Pass to Thomas. Over Ivy. And again, it's the Nets missing. Cunningham looking it over. Now, here's Duren. From deep. That shot missing. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Brooklyn ahead. They lead by 4. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much. With J.B. Bickerstaff, Coach, what will be the areas of emphasis on defense in the second half?
Well, we got to do a much better job just being physical, fighting them deep down in the post. We got to be very aggressive early, not letting them get deep post catches, make them have to kick the basketball out and not take those easy buckets.
That is doing your work early, and we'll see if you can do it in the second half. Thanks, Coach. Back to you.
All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter started.
Welcome to our 2K Sports Studio. The Brooklyn Nets find themselves in quite a battle here tonight.
Love that they're taking high percentage shots, and it hasn't been easy for them. It's hard to score inside when the defense is collapsing on you.
Who needs three-pointers anyway?
Kenny did.
So thank you, Ernie.
And now we get to check out the top performers from their respective teams in that first half.
Yeah, they're both smart-driven, extremely talented. They've been putting on a show, man.
Taking control individually and as the leaders of their teams. We are watching greatness.
Thanks for spending halftime with us. Time to get it back out to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third quarter.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Cade Cunningham really making a difference here.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything that the league can do to slow him down. He's just that good.
Yeah, avalanche warning in this one. He is just on a roll.
The guard pair, Schroeder and Thomas. Nicholas Claxton out there with Dorian Finney-Smith. And it's Johnson in at the small forward position. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. And out of bounds, the Pistons will take it. And the upcoming schedule for Brooklyn. On Monday, they'll defend home court against the Memphis Grizzlies. Then on Friday, they'll be matching up with Al Horford and the Boston Celtics.
And, you know, nobody loves playing on the road, but it does offer a good chance to see exactly what your team is made of. This team is going to find out a lot about itself over the next stretch of games.
Pass to Duren, releases from 15. That misses off the backboard.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Hardaway against Johnson. Here's Finney-Smith. Shot clock at 5. Lets it go from deep. Cameron Johnson, and that's good. Johnson's got the first points to start out the third quarter for the Nets. Cunningham kicks to Ivy. Cunningham a screen on Thomas. Ivy passes to Duren. Claxton with the steal. Thomas against Ivy. Thomas, that's good. And now it's a 9-point Brooklyn lead.
One of the more skilled offensive players that is on the floor here tonight. Not an easy fella to hold in check.
Cunningham against Schroeder. Goes up the baseline. And good, as it just snugs right down through the net.
A good eye from the mid-range. It's part of what makes Cunningham so dangerous.
And Jordi Fernandez has called a timeout. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. A moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Kevin, thank you. Tobias Harris, who over the course of his career has played a lot at both forward positions. He says, I'm comfortable playing both of them. I'm not big on the position thing. I'm versatile. Kevin, he's just a basketball player and a very, very good one.
I would agree, David. I know you like him. We like him as well. A very skilled one at that. Thank you very much.
some numbers here for Harris. A very nice season for him last year. Last year averaged 17 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists. And you look at the numbers he's been putting up, fantastic scoring production from him.
Yeah, hard to ask for anything more at this point. He's really stepped up, and he's really delivered.
So it's Brooklyn now. Pass to Schroeder. On the wing, Johnson. Here's Claxton. Defended by Duran. Shot clock at 2. Thomas. It's hauled in by Harris. Pistons trail by 7. Ivy on the wing. Duran with it. Claxton covering. Duran with it. Scoreless thus far. The shot, no good. And when you take a look at Jalen Duran, a big man, Greg, who seems to get better each and every season.
Well, you know, he averaged a double-double in his second season. I especially like how hard he goes after rebounds. This guy has a bright future in this league.
So it's the Pistons now, following the bucket by the Nets. Duran the pass to Cunningham. It's hauled in by Claxton. Claxton's got 6 rebounds in the game. Schroeder finds Johnson. And Johnson with the stop.
Oh, man, how about Johnson coming at you with some power to get the finish?
And J.B. Bickerstaff is called a timeout. He wants to check in with his team and regroup. A new group in for the Nets. Downey's checked in. Williams comes in for Dorian Finney-Smith. Shake Milton, he's checked in for Thomas. And it's Ben Simmons in for Dennis Schroeder. And a different look here for the Pistons. Stewart's checked in for Jalen Duran. Holland comes in for Hardaway. Beasley's checked in for Ivy. And Marcus Sasser subbed in for Cade Cunningham. Here's Sasser. Still yet to score. Johnson against Harris. Great tee that time from Johnson.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
Back to Simmons. And then Simmons slams it in.
Goodness, Ben Simmons, unreal.
And great camera work showing up on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Here's Sasser, guarded by Simmons. Back to Sasser. Stewart with the screen on Simmons. Sasser gets the bucket. 23 seconds left to play in the third.
You take your time. You don't give them another possession.
And hopefully that's what they'll do here. It's what most teams try to execute at this time in the game.
Johnson against Harris. Johnson outside. And so it's the Brooklyn Nets with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. Their defense has been terrific in this game. And we'll be back with you shortly. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
And how about the big fella here showing us he's got some point guard skill here with the tremendous setup.
Now the passing for the team becoming contagious, this time involving the big.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. And on the floor for Detroit here in the fourth. Isaiah Stewart out there with Fontecchio. Then there's Paul Reed. Then it's Malik Beasley. And it's Sasser in at the point.
They're playing working to perfection there, if that was their plan. And if it wasn't, maybe that should be their plan.
Outside, Simmons. On the wing, Milton. Brooklyn needs to get off a shot here. High post shot. Detroit with the rebound. Beasley outside. And he drops it in from the low post.
Well, for a guy who does a lot of his work on the perimeter, Beasley gets into the painted area.
Outside, Simmons. And he converts the layup.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Pistons trail by 8. And timeout called by J.B. Bickerstaff. And that timeout by Coach was carefully measured, wanting to make sure that everybody is on the same page here.
Time for the dance stand. Oh, you know how this goes. You get on the big screen if you get with your mama, baby. Who left me there? Let's see those moves. Come on.
And a new group out there on the floor for the Nets. And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on J.B. Bickerstaff's huddle. He said in the huddle, you got to play some defense in the paint. They're getting too much in there. Battle down low. Time to fight, guys.
Okay, David, much appreciated. Here's Cunningham, and good, and it takes a nice bounce off the right iron and down.
Some retro action from Kate Cunningham, the mid-range J.
Johnson surveying the floor. Pass to Finney-Smith. Schroeder against Cunningham. And Cunningham with the block.
Great to now. Cunningham using every inch of that reach.
Ivy with it. Rebound, Brooklyn. Claxton's got his 7th rebound of the game with that last one. Fires at the elbow. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls.
Mid-range, plenty of room for that release. He's going to take those all day long.
It's Cunningham with the drive. It's hauled in by Claxton. Here's Johnson. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. And it's a 10-point Nets lead.
I love Johnson's fearlessness. He's so good at knowing when to cut.
Here's Cunningham, and some very quick points for him on that possession.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
Yeah, and the coach pretty smart for zoning in on him and giving him opportunities to stay with that confident play.
Now, here's Johnson. Inside, here's Thomas. Lays it up and banks it in. And the Nets lead by 10.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just fanning the flame.
Yeah, he's the guy that you want to go to right now, trying to put this one away.
And Schroeder's got the ball here for Brooklyn.
And we'll just watch the clock wind down, guys, in what will turn out to be a win here for the Nets.
Looking at both these teams, they're great rebounders, and on any given night, you might not know who would have the advantage on the board.
They made the most of those extra rebounds as well, Kevin.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Johnson.
And guys, I just felt he was tremendous tonight. His energy infected his teammates, and the wrecking ball on both ends.
And here is Johnson after Jim Hardaway made that last three-pointer. Out of bounds, Detroit takes possession. And right now, let's watch that terrific swat.
And that block might serve as a spark for this team. We'll see if it can ignite them.
And so it's Detroit with the ball, trailing by 10. Harris outside. That's in, coming off the assist from Cunningham.
Just flat-out playmaking from Cade. This is why he was picked first overall.
Cunningham against Schroeder. So it's the Nets picking up the win. It was up for grabs right until the final seconds.
Yeah, and for me, Kevin, what stood out is just the overall trust this group has in one another when it mattered most. Doing what had to be done and to send these fans home happy.
And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And as we leave you, we give you our player of the game, Cam Johnson.